Hi, I'm Bluebee. This is 14 Days of Zines. We are at day 12, and I'm going to be experimenting with sun prints using tumeric for my zine today. Part 1. Inspiration. This video about sun printing using household supplies stumbled across my feed recently. I figured it would make a great background for a zine. Part 2. The idea. All I know so far is that we're going to be sun printing, and I'm going to be using some cut-up shapes from card. I don't have a specific plan for the zine at this point. I'll see how inspiration hits once I see the result of the sun print, and we'll take it from there. Part 3. Planning. I watched a few more videos on sun printing, and there wasn't a real full consensus of measurements. I'm using 1 teaspoon-ish of turmeric and 5 tablespoons of isopropyl alcohol. I'm going to give that a mix and let it meld. I've already cut some letter-sized cardstock in half. Next, I'm going to filter the turmeric and alcohol through a coffee filter to make sure it's a homogeneous mix. Now to paint it onto the cardstock. One video I watched said to do 2 layers of the turmeric mix, so after letting the first layer dry for 5 minutes, I painted on an extra coat. I'm really glad I wore gloves. Turmeric stains everything it touches. I'm going to let this dry for half an hour or so in the laundry room since it's dark in there. I want to avoid exposing it early. Meanwhile, I'll get my shapes ready. I already have some circles and stars. I'm going to cut out a few more shapes from this brown cardstock. I also have these stickers I'm going to use as shapes too for some variation. I have some extra photo frames, so I'll use the back and the glass from those. The turmeric paper is dry now, so let's lay down the shapes. Now to take them outside. I got started a little late in the day today, but I'll leave them out as long as possible. Time to bring them in. It's been a couple of hours and it's dark now. I'm not seeing a big difference, but there is a little something there. So now we have to stop the exposure with a baking soda water mix. These have gone very dark after putting them in the baking soda mix. I'll let them dry and we'll see what they look like in the morning. I pinned them to a couple of hangers and put a tray underneath to catch the drips. Now, while I don't dislike these, they are much darker than I anticipated. I'm going to give it another try and start earlier in the day. Same measurements. You've seen the process already, I won't make you watch that again. I've put them outside and hoped for a better result this time. These prints managed about 3 hours before rain came in, so I'm hoping that's enough. This time, I'm going to quickly dip the prints in the baking soda and then wash them in plain water. Maybe I left them in the baking soda mix too long last time. I think this turned out better. The more yellow prints have just 1 layer of turmeric paint on them. Let's let these dry and see how they look in the morning. So here are the first batch of prints. They had the 2 layers of turmeric paint, a couple of hours in the sun, and I soaked them in the baking soda for a while. They're very dark. This is the second batch. The darker ones had 2 layers of turmeric paint and the lighter ones had just 1 layer. They were in the sun for about 3 hours and then a quick dip in the baking soda solution and washed off in water. I like this second batch better. Time to scan these in so we can turn them into a zine. These prints remind me of very autumnal colours, so I wrote a short poem about autumn and I'll make an illustrated poem zine with that. Part 4. The master copy. I've pulled the scans into Procreate. I'm going to start with the text of the poem. I picked a colour from one of the sun prints for my brown text and set the layers to multiply. Next, I'm doing some sketches of the illustrations. Now for the line work. Part 5. Making copies. I've already organized the pages into a printable layout, so let's print them out. Time to trim and assemble. Part 6. Final reveal. Part 7. Thoughts. When I started these sun prints, I didn't know what the process would be like or where I was going to go with the zine. I don't really write poems very often, but it was fun to put together a little poem zine. I often do colourful zines, so this monotone brown is a little out of my comfort zone. But I love how it turned out, and it's making me excited for fall. The tumeric sun prints seem to have a bit of a learning curve and some experimentation required. I'd try it again sometime now I've done a couple of sets of prints. Hopefully I can get more sun next time. I did like that I had everything I needed at home and could easily give this technique a try. So, what do you think? Have you done any sun printing before? Would you give it a try? I'll be back tomorrow for our penultimate episode, lucky number 13. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.